Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Dean, doing the project plan for BMIS530, System Analysis Design. To start with, here's my project charter. The project title obviously is Task Management Dashboard. Problem statement can read here, but to sum it up, there's a Habitat for Humanity, local nonprofit organization in my area. So a lot of challenges they face recently in the fast-paced world we live in is being able to divvy out tasks, assign tasks, and make sure those tasks get complete. And so a lot of what their current task management process is currently for the volunteers, part-time volunteers, and for the manager there, they rely on essentially sticky notes and a whiteboard in either the manager's office or some some other office in the building. But doing it through sticky notes can lead to missed deadlines, miscommunication, and who's assigned to what task. So like I said here in the problem statement, there's no centralized place for monitoring, assigning, updating the task. If a sticky note falls off the board, something along those lines, you could miss a deadline, which will be pretty bad. To address this issue for the Habitat for Humanity, I gave them the option of having a task management dashboard created out of the Java framework, Java code program. I think that'll improve the workflow, team collaboration there. Objectives here, and then the scope. Stakeholders are obviously going to be the manager, team leads, any part-time, full-time volunteers there at the local Habitat for Humanity. Those benefit the most from this program, and expected deliverables. So let's scroll up. I got my WBS work breakdown structure. Obviously start off with, from a project management side, you want to make sure you get the requirements, any use cases, a scope statement, and then any scheduling you need to do. And then if you come into the cloud, they already have an initial private cloud system set up. We need to make sure that's compatible with it. So kind of the current infrastructure, and analyze that. With this task management dashboard, we would need some sort of database implementation possibly. And then making sure that their private cloud, or if they don't have a private cloud, with it being a nonprofit, it's very possible not having any configuration for a private cloud. That may be something that kind of gets talked about in the discussion there. Obviously for the development right now, you got the initial development and the UI mockups, so not much there. And then for testing, you obviously got your unit functional testing. If you set up any infrastructure, you make sure to do that kind of testing. I doubled that up. So unit testing, infrastructure testing, functional testing, and then after that comes the bug fixes. And then with your deployment and maintenance, you got release planning, any sustainment support. So if you plan on sustaining the app or just handing it off, that's something that needs to get talked about. And then documentation. Here I put user manual, anything, a design document, anything along those lines. So now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get started on coding. First couple lines. So I've already got a task constructor created, and the strings here created as well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I've got to set the get statement, or the get and the getters and the setters to be able to use it in the main program. We'll put that out, so I'm going to go ahead and get those typed out, and then get something working in the main as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. guess I could go in a little background here. So for these, so the title, okay, let's start over. So with this program I got set up a tasks class, which is gonna hold the task itself and everything, all the variables that go inside of it. So if you think of a task, you always have the title of the task, you have the description, a status, not started, to do, in progress, or done, and then you have assignee. So inside this task we're going to set up, I already got the constructor set up like I said, and then the variables, the private variables, but I'm getting the getters and the setters for those specific variables, and then I'm going to be able to put those into the main. So I can add in either through scanner or through hard code. I can put in the task itself. Now that we have that, we should be able to. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and create a new task. And for this one, I'm going to hard code it into it. But eventually I'm going to get to where I'll scan the line and get user input. That's the plan, at least. So alright, school calendar, that's what we're gonna do. So with it being and just to kind of relate it back to the nonprofit, with it being a nonprofit organization, they may do something along the lines of passing out their company calendars to schools. So we're going to go ahead and create a school calendar handout, if I can spell, handout. That's going to be the task title, and then the next variable we're going to send is the description, pass out company. Alright, so that's the description, that's the title. Next, what did I set up next? Next is going to be the status. So if we're coming in late to a task that's already in progress, we can do in progress. But for this one, I think we're just going to do to do. Alright, so we got that one, and the last one is assignee, so we're just going to assign this to John Doe. Alright, so as you can see, school calendar handout, pass out company calendar to local schools, that's the description, status, and then John Doe. Alright, and so what we're going to do here is do some basic printouts. John's tasks. So once we input that, we're going to go ahead and get let's get this title. Where's the title? Title. So we're going to get the title of his. So if there are more than one, which I don't think I've got to the point yet, but if there are more than one, it lists out more than one. So go to run that, see if it works. Okay. John's task school calendar handout. So there we go. So we got it right here. John's tasks is the school calendar handout. And at some point I'm gonna get, I think I've got the scanner already set up, so I may set up a scanner to be able to scan the input from the user in the console and be able to do it that way. But for now, what I got set up is the hard coded for the school calendar handout. So, and we can do the same thing for description. There we go. So if we get the description, we can run that. Yep, there's a description. Went too fast for me. Pass out company calendar to local schools. So, and same thing for status. I'm going to run through so everyone can see it. Status is in to do, and then obviously John's task, we know it's his task, but just so we see it's working. John Doe. So that's what I got so far. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to let me know, and anything I could change, anything I add to make it better, let me know as well. Thanks. Talk to y'all later.